I remember when that shit was primitive and they only had monkeys. Shit, I guess I will go over there and eat them out. That shit, eat them out, what am I doing? Alright, so now we're gonna be moving to Tales of Manga. Again, this is all the manga that I read, and it's not a lot. It's only 3 right now because I had to take a break because some of them I watched on YouTube and I didn't want to spoil it. But I'm gonna be doing Fire Force. I'm going to be doing My Hero. I'm going to be doing Dragon Ball Super. I just recently picked that back up. I might do Black Clover. I might do Boruto. Who knows? But announcement, I'm definitely going to do Demon Slayer. 1, because I lost a bet. I tried to get my homie to get on Dr. Stone. He just can't get into it. He doesn't like shonen or whatever. So I told him I was going to read at least 30 chapters. I'm kind of taking my time on doing it just because the movie's getting ready to drop. Demon Slayer's getting ready to drop this month, which means it'll be in the US by, I don't know, January, February, at the latest spring. So like, I kind of don't want to ruin the movie for myself, but I'm gonna end up reading these 30 chapters. I got to them, I'm man of my word. But not yet though. So, with Fire Force, the latest chapter, nothing really happened other than my baby Hibana. I love her, right? She went back to the convent where all her sisters passed away, and then she found out that, yo, there may be something about this doppelganger. There may be some information here. And so she actually found an entrance to the nether at that convent. Well, what's crazy to me, the one thing I took out of this chapter, because it was really short, something's going on with Sister Iris, right? Because if you look at the previous chapters, when Arthur was fighting against that dude Dragon, which is weird to me because like he was actually like a human that was kind of turning it into an inferno or a demon. Like what was that? What was that? But when Dragon did that whole Nappa mouth being cannon, right? He did that whole shit. Sister Iris, Maki tried to block it, but it was too much. Sister Iris did something, right? Like she prayed, and then there was like some beam or something. A solar flare came from around her body. Lit saw it, and it was like, I don't know, some type of evangelist grace. I think that's what they called it. And everybody was perfectly fine, right? So it was Sister Iris that did that, but they didn't touch on what it was in that manga, that chapter. I can't talk. They didn't touch on what it was in that chapter. So like, what the hell was that, right? And then in this chapter, they was doing a flashback. One of the sisters asked Hibana, like, yo, let's go look at this beehive. Hibana was like, yo, Iris, come look at us. And then this, come look at it with us. And then the sister was like, hey, you sure? Because, you know, Iris, ... is dangerous. And I'm just like, what the fuck does that mean, right? Because Iris already has a doppelganger. The first pillar actually looks like Iris, or at least that's what the mangaka says, and that's what other people say. The first pillar don't look like Iris to me, bro. I'm sorry, I don't see it. They don't look alike to me. Even if they just recently introduced her in the anime too, and they have completely different eyes, and they still don't look alike to me. So I'm just like, what are you talking about? But like, they're saying the Iris is dangerous. I'm like, what has Iris done that makes you think she's dangerous? Other than if you put a button in her face, she's gonna press it. Cause we also had that Vulcan episode. So I'm just like, what's so dangerous about Iris? I need to know. And then I started thinking about it. But we really don't know anything about Iris. We honestly don't. Like, there's no backstory to her besides that convent. Like, you even know what Hibana does after she leaves the convent, right? Like, she joined Hajime so that she gave them her research about the Infernos, and then when she became a captain. And like, you saw what she's been doing. What has Iris been doing outside of just being at the 8th? Like, I need to know what makes her so dangerous. So that's all I took from that chapter, right? My Hero. I think we on let me look it up real quick. Actually, I'm not gonna look it up because it's gonna take some time. I think it's like 250 and 251. I think that's the chapters. Bruh, Endeavor is the best teacher to ever live, bruh. He's super analytical. Deku's super analytical. He got Deku doing multiple. That's what I was about to say. Echo. He got Deku doing multiple things at the same time, bruh. Forgetting all about that 20%, that limit. He got him doing the Black Whip. He got him doing the air smash. He got him using his full cowling all at the same time, bro. That shit hard, bro. That shit hard to me, man. Like, I'm getting ahead of myself. So what's going on right now? You got Endeavor. He's taking on the big 3 of Class 1A. That's Bakugo, Deku, and Shoto. And then he's his daughter Fuyumi. You know, she's trying to get them and Natsuo, which is like the new oldest brother now. They're trying to get all those people together so that they can have this nice little family dinner, try to be close and everything like that. Invite their outsiders, you know, bring them all into this nice friendly environment, because I want to be a family. That's what Fuyumi wants, right? This whole time Endeavor's been trying to teach them to be faster than him. stop a villain faster than he can, right? So he's been telling Bakugo, hey yo, focus your explosions at one point, which is what he's already doing with his AP shot, right? But focus it all on one point, you'll be able to move faster. Todoroki, I'm gonna get to you in a second. You want that flash fire face? Eventually I'll get to you, right? Deku, you gotta try to do multiple things at the same time so that your body just goes into ultra instinct mode. We got to know Gokui, right? Like we just gonna keep going until it's like a second nature. Like you're just gonna do everything at the same time without even thinking, right? So what happened was this villain came out of nowhere. This old villain that Endeavor stopped him years ago, right? Stopped him years ago. He came in, kidnapped Natsuo, which is the oldest, because you know, what's his name? Toya, he died, supposedly. You know, there's that whole Dabi theory, right? But Natsuo's the oldest, right? Captured him. And so Todoroki just takes off, but he got his whole ice thing pushing him and shit like that. That's just smooth. Bakugo blasts out of the car, right? Like he explodes the window and he just takes off. He concentrates everything at one point and he just goes off. My man broke the sound barrier. He looked like Shimmer in that bitch, bro. Like it was so dope. And he got to Netsuko. He got to Natsuo, right? He got to him. Todoroki. I can't talk. Why can't I talk? Oh my god, this is so bad. Todoroki Shoto, you know, he got to the guy, I forgot his name, but he controls lines and stuff like that, right? And he froze him, completely subdued him. And then Deku, the guy, he lifted lines up off the ground, like the street lines, he lifted that up off the ground, the cars went in the air. My man's Deku jumped in the air, not jump. He activated full Kali. He did a 10-finger air smash, boom, launched himself up in the air. Then he fucking shot out the black whips, bro. The black whips, you see it right here. He shot out the black whips, and bro, he caught, and they weren't the wimpy ones that he was shooting out earlier. These were like the full force ones that we saw when he first lost control, and he was catching all the cars, bro. And he safely dropped. I don't know how he safely dropped down with those cars. I don't know how he did it, but my man's did 3 things at once. I'm so proud of me to be in my. But Endeavor is the best teacher. All Might, you know, All Might is trash. We all know he's trash. He even said that he's trash. He's not a teacher. He said that, but he's more instinctual. He's probably best for like Bakugo. Endeavor's best for Midoriya. But if anything was to ever happen to Endeavor, right? They got these drugs that take away your powers, your quirks. My bad. If anything was to ever happen to Endeavor and he had to be a teacher just like All Might, best teacher, bro. He's teacher of the year. I'm telling you. Endeavor is smooth. And then what's crazy about this chapter, it's the most humbling chapter I've ever seen in my life, because we all know that Endeavor is a jerk. He's a dick. He's an asshole. My man got put on his ass, bruh. Like the son is always rejecting him. Todoroki is still rejecting him. The son blames him for the oldest son's death. Like my man was just like, yo, I keep having this dream that y'all having dinner without me. So what I'm gonna do, I'm gonna build a mansion that's closer to all y'all. For you, me, Natsuo, Shoto, y'all can all be in the house when your mom gets out, because they've been hinting that the mom's gonna get out soon. When she gets out, boom, all y'all can be this happy family. I'm gonna be over here and I'm gonna atone for my sins, man. Like right now, I don't want you to forgive me. I know I did bad, and I need to come to terms with that with myself before I can be around y'all. And like it's a humbling experience, bro. It's a very humbling experience, and I'm just proud of my man. This character development, bro, because he was a hated hero, bro. He was cool. He did some cool things, but people didn't rock with him. Even when he became #1 hero, people wasn't following him until he fought against the hood no more. It's a humbling experience, but I love this chapter. I love this chapter. And Dragon Ball Super. I thought it was done, I wasn't done. Dragon Ball Super. Now, if you ever been following Dragon Ball Super, the only reason I went back to this because people were saying Gohan was going off. Gohan's my favorite character. He's also right there. Boom, you see Super Saiyan 2 right there. My man's was going off, so I had to read it, right? Now, if you don't know what's going on with Super after the Tournament of Power arc, Moro is this new character. He's this goat-looking magician, right? He's been around for eons. He's just been locked up in the Galactic Patrol's prison, right? Raspberry, which is like one of those old fodder characters that was in the Frieza army, he actually broke them out. They went to New Namek, which I don't know how they know, because I thought New Namek, nobody knew where it was at. They went to New Namek to go get the Dragon Balls. Now Goku, Vegeta, Miris, Jocko, and you know the Galactic Patrol people, they all met Moro there, and Goku, Vegeta, they got handed the L, bro. Like Vegeta was actually doing the best between him and Goku, but then eventually, you know, Miro got the upper hand on him. What Miro does is he's basically a spirit bomb, bro. He just absorbs energy from the planet, everything on the planet, the trees, the water, the lava, the rocks, the animals, the people, including Goku and Vegeta, and he just steals their energy and then he condenses, and it's nice little snack. Yum yum, bruh. He eats it up, and then boom, he gets his youth back, he gets his strength back. He's a planet devourer. That's basically what Moro is, right? Vegeta and Goku took an L. Raspberry made a wish to get his strength back, which it didn't do him any good because Moro killed him. Moro made a wish. Moro made a wish to get his health back, get his youth back, right? But and then used his third wish so that everybody at the Galactic Prison was free, because that's where all his henchmen and his little army was gonna be at. They came to Moro because they got the fastest ship in the universe, and then Goku and Vegeta was fighting them, right? It's been a couple of days, so like they got their strength back. And then Goku, they was in God form, I believe. I think they was in blue form, right? Super Saiyan Blue. They was beating. Now Goku and Vegeta, I think they was in blue form, Super Saiyan Blue. They was beating the fuck out of the henchmen. But then Moro, I can't talk. Then Moro. Now Goku and Vegeta, they was actually in like a Super Saiyan Blue form, and they was beating the fuck out of the henchmen, just knocking them around left and right. And then Moro was like, yo, y'all losing, so I'm gonna help y'all out. Boom, he starts draining the power, draining the planet of his energy, and then Goku dropped from blue down to red, down to Super Saiyan 3, down to base form Goku, and him and Vegeta was getting rocked. So what Goku did, he used instant transmission to get out of there. He went to the Galactic Patrol's headquarters, and then Vegeta actually decided to separate from the pack, and he went to, guess what? My man's went to planet Yardrat, bruh. He went to planet Yardrat. Now let me tell you why this is big. Yardrat is the same planet that Goku was chilling on for a year after he defeated Frieza, right? It's where he learned the instant transmission. That's when he came back with those weird ass clothes. It's also where Goku caught that STD and he almost died without heart condition. So here's hoping Vegeta doesn't catch that same STD and he doesn't die of a heart condition. But what about the people of planet Yardrat? They have what is called spirit control, what we call ki control. And with this, they can gigantify, they can make copies, they can do instant transmission, they can do a whole slew of things, right? Really. Alright, so now what do I think is going to happen with Vegeta? I don't think he's going to gigantify, because that's Piccolo's thing, right? Piccolo's already doing that, and Vegeta doesn't really like to copy people's moves, so he's not going to gigantify, he's not going to do instant transmission. And the making copies of himself, I feel like that's already been in Dragon Ball. Like, isn't that just basically the after image technique? Like, unless these copies are like more durable, I don't see Vegeta using that. So like basically, I feel like Vegeta's gonna use this whole spirit control thing, this whole ki control, to reach a whole new level in his Super Saiyan Blue evolution. And I feel like it's gonna be Super Saiyan Blue too. I think that's what he's gonna get close to, because you have Super Saiyan Blue, then you have Super Saiyan Blue evolution, right? And to me, I feel like Super Saiyan Blue evolution is just the ascended Super Saiyan form. And y'all remember that? That's when Vegeta was like mad bulky and big, and then Trunks was mad bulky and big going up against Cell, and eventually he got his ass whipped because the form is powerful, but you lose a lot of speed, right? And so that's what I think evolution is. I feel like evolution just ascended a Super Saiyan form. So I think this whole ki control thing is going to be what's needed to reach the new level of Super Saiyan Blue 2 or whatever they're going to call it. That's what I think is going to happen. I feel like Vegeta's going to be the star of the arc this episode, because he was actually fighting against Moro the longest between him and Goku in that first encounter. Boo is actually going to be the star of the episode too. He's going to be a star of the show, because Boo actually ate a Grand Kai, and the Grand Kai is the one who sealed away Moro in the first place. Bruh, Boo, I forgot how fun it was watching Boo fight. Fat Boo, I forgot how fun it was. My man was, but he was feeding him. That was terrible. My form was off. But my man was feeding him the hands. At one point, Boo grew like 8 limbs, and he was like on some champ shit. And he was just going at him, but he was just feeding him the hands up, down, left, right. And then my man literally stopped punching him. Not even stopped punching. My man literally stopped, turned around to have a conversation with everybody in the background while this dude was still punching him. A lot of arms were still flying and beating the fuck out of Moro. I'm like, yo, Boo, it's hilarious, and I love it. The stretching arms. It was so funny, and then it just makes me laugh because you forget that Boo is magic as well. And that's another thing I saw that was like a whole little, that had people mad, right? They were saying, like, why they got Moro, why they got magic? Magic ain't never been a part of Dragon Ball Z. Magic has been a part of Dragon Ball Z. Like, Boo is magic. But his creators is freaking Bibbidi Bobbidi Boo. Like, do you not see the magical connection there? Come on now. I don't even know where that's from, but y'all get it, y'all get it. And so, but yeah, Boo was funny, but out of that fight, out of the Moro fight, Vegeta was fighting against him the longest, so I feel like Vegeta's gonna steal the show, man. I feel like Vegeta's finally gonna get his time to shine, and he's gonna be the one to put away Moro. It's not gonna be Goku. It's not gonna be Ultra Instinct. But then again, Ultra Instinct might make an appearance because Goku has been training with Mirrors, and Mirrors, they've been hinting that, is his name Mirrors? I think so. Mirrors sounds surprisingly close to Beerus. I might be making that up, but Beerus, I think that's his name. He's been training Goku, and they've been hinting that this man is an angel, or at least half angel. And then you gotta think about, yo, where did he come from? Because he is the strongest galactic patrolman, and it's like there was 18 universes. Zeno got rid of 6 of them, so it's like he could have been an angel for one of them. But then, you know, Whis called on. Whis was watching him. He's like, yo, he called down the Grand Priest. He's like, hey, I need to talk to you about that angel laws. The Grand Priest is like, oh, you talking about marriage? And I'm just like, you can't just say that, bro. Like, you know, let me know what's going on here, because Beerus actually knows about Ultra Instinct, and Goku can't handle him. Goku went Super Saiyan, he went Super Saiyan 2, Super Saiyan 3. He went to God, but then the spaceship that they was on couldn't handle all the power and stuff like that, so he had to stop. But the whole time he couldn't land one punch on Beerus. They're fighting in this bootleg hyperbolic time chamber on some other planet, some other world that's weak compared to the hyperbolic time chamber on Earth. Which, again, like Goku, you can instant transmission. You can do instant transmission. Why didn't you just instant transmission into that hyperbolic time chamber and train there? Because in that one you get more time. Like, I think a day in there is like a year outside in the, I think a year in there is like a day outside on Earth, and then over there I think like 3 hours in there is like a day in the outside or some shit like that. Like, why training this week when you got this one right here? Especially now that y'all have a 2-month limit. And the reason why they got a 2-month limit is because my boy Gohan came through and was beating ass. But I'm getting ahead of myself. Let me calm down. Let me calm down. Breathe. All right. So, how did Gohan get to the point where he was whooping ass? Moro has these henchmen. He has an android. That android is called 7-3. Like 17 and 18, that android has infinite stamina. Unlike 17 and 18, he has the ability to copy all of your moves if he grabs your neck. He can also keep a stockpile of 3 people in his mind, you know, for moves that he can use. And then once he uses those moves, he has like a 30-minute time limit or something like that. So he grabs Piccolo's neck because Piccolo was slacking, and then they start fighting. Piccolo's obviously losing the fight because he doesn't have the stamina to keep up. What makes me mad though is Piccolo, like, all you do is training. He literally said it to Krillin at the moment of the introduction to 7-3 and stuff. Like, I always train. I never taken a day off. Like, all this man does is image train. He just sits there with his arms and his legs folded and just goes. Check the eyebrows, check the eyebrows. Was I moving them? I can't tell. But anyway, like, that's all he does. That's all he does is just image train. So if anybody should know how to beat themselves, it should be Piccolo. You should know the counters to your own moves. My man was getting dragged, bro. And then what happened was there was a special beam cannon face-off, and then 7-3 was winning because, you know, 7-3 got the stamina. What happened? My man Gohan swooped through and came through and saved his pops, bro. He picked Piccolo up like, hey, I'm about to let you go out like that. And he's like, you know what? I'ma fight him, because if anybody can beat you, it's me. And so he started going up against 7-3, was busting his ass. 7-3 started to do the Hellzone grenade. Gohan's like, the fuck? This weak ass shit out of here. It's not weak. It's actually the same power that was Piccolo, but you know, it's Gohan. He's the strongest one on Earth right now. And so he's like, get this weak ass shit out of here. My man 7-3 grew super tall, super gigantic. Gohan just like he actually kicked the fuck out of him in his head and stuff like that, and sent him on the ground and stuff like that. The only reason why 7-3 won the fight, it wasn't because he put hands on Gohan. It wasn't because he took a hostage. He had Moro as a stockpile, and he used Moro's abilities, and he was absorbing energy from the planet. Well, actually, he wasn't absorbing energy from the planet. He was absorbing energy specifically from Gohan and everybody else, which was crazy to me. I didn't know you can target people with that move, but apparently you can. So that's the only reason why they won. And then they gave him a 2-month time limit because, hey, Moro's like, yo, this planet, they called Moro, and it's like, yo, this planet got some strong fighters, bro. They got it, bro. You need to come over here and eat this planet. Moro's like, Earth. I remember when that shit was primitive and they only had monkeys. Shit, I guess I will go over there and eat them out. That shit, eat them out, what am I doing? Yo, I swear, this is not a red tape podcast, bro. I'm sorry, it's supposed to be PG's. My bad. But he's like, I'm gonna go over there and devour that planet. That's what he said. And then he's like, yo, be there, tell Goku and them to be there in a month. And it's like, yo, Jocko was like, hey man, Earth is primitive. They don't got the technology for all that. They need at least 2 months to get here. So that's why we got the time limit. So, December 20th. Look out for the podcast. I can't wait to see where they go from there. I need multiple pages, bro. I need about 40 pages, bro. I need about 40. But that's pretty much it for Tales of Manga.